Hi there. My name's Bob Wilkins, and I'm the host of the late Saturday night horror film. I want to welcome all you people to Cal Expo today. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm visiting a sick friend, and I'm afraid he didn't make it. Now, we're going to have horror films for you. Some of the ones we played on our late show, like today's Terror in the Crypt. And we had a lot of requests to show that again, so we're going to show it to you today here. It stars Christopher Lee, who's one of the great European horror actors. It runs about 80 minutes, so you'll be home for dinner, or you can eat right here at Cal Expo. It's an Italian-made horror film that builds slowly, like all the movies on Channel 3. And it's about a strange nobleman who fears for his daughter's life, according to an old legend. And there's a lot of scenes in it about witchcraft, and there's the old scary castle, very reminiscent of this building here. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to start in just a few seconds. I'll be back at the end of the film. And just a brief reminder, we're going to be here for about the next 8 or 10 days with free horror films, so take advantage of it. Okay? I'll see you at the end of the movie.
It's coming from the deep, dark recesses of the mind of Mel Brooks. I love him. Young Frankenstein.
Life, you hear me? Give my creation life!
Sky means business.
Starring Gene Wilder as Dr. Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
Peter Boyle as the monster. Marty Feldman as Igor.
My grandfather used to work for your grandfather.
I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Oh!
Cloris Leachman as Frau Blucher. And Madeline Kahn as Elizabeth.
What are you going to do to me? I'm not afraid of you.
Kill the monster!
See Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein.
Yes, I think we could all use a good laugh.
But don't see it alone. Don't miss Young Frankenstein, personally directed by Mel Blazing Saddles Brooks, in black and white. No offense.
Okay. We were talking about how well Willy Wonka is holding up and how it really didn't do well when it first came out, but now it's going to be a classic before we know it.
I think so. It's strange. When it first came out, I don't know. I think maybe it was a little bit ahead of its time.
Yeah. Now, the reason I ask that is, in the new film, you've taken on all the chores of writing, producing.
I just wish I had a roll.
Hello, Madeline Kahn.
Hey.
If you're going to come in, let the audience know who we're talking to. Come here.
Yes.
This is one of the women I love in life. Her name is Madeline Kahn, and she's the co-star of this picture that we're talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Have a good time.
And that was Marty Feldman, the eyes you just saw go by.
I thought I was going to interview them one at a time, but they're coming.
Look, he's talking. We're going to interrupt you. We're going to give you... Hello, America. Hello.
This is my son.
I'm talking. I hardly know you, sir.
It's just a cheap ploy to make money for 20th Century Fox.
As I was saying, are they really
Come on, don't
friendly?
let these people bother you.
No, you've taken on the chores of writing, producing, and of course you're one of the stars in the film. You've come a long way since Willy Wonka.
Yes, I have.
How do you direct yourself out there? That must be difficult to do.
It would have been impossible, I think, if I hadn't had the help of a machine. It's called a video playback machine.
Yeah.
It's recording the scene as I acted so that I could run around the corner after each take and see myself in the scene. And if I didn't like it, then I could do it again. But otherwise, it would have been impossible to try and be that objective to say that was good, that wasn't good. I'd be thinking all the time that I was acting to judge whether or not I should print that take or print another take.
You and Feldman, Marty, bounce off so well together. Where did that all start? Where did you...
Well, I saw him in Marty Feldman Comedy Machine.
Yeah.
And then a short while later, I was asked if I would write a film for myself and Marty and Peter Boyle. And that's when I wrote Young Frankenstein. But it was based on my knowledge of him from the television show. And now Sherlock was based on what his part was based on what I'd learned from working with him in Young Frankenstein.
Okay, they're winding us up here. Good luck in the film.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, it's going to be as big as Young Frankenstein.
Thanks.
Okay. Back at you.
Soledad Flats, Nevada. The time, 6:15 a.m. The climax of arduous planning. Operation A-bomb test underway.
Detonation minus 2 minutes.
Military personnel, from buck private to top-ranking brass. Men from research and news services move into position. The bomb-carrying plane makes its initial run. Radar with eyes that never sleep. Special equipment go into operation. All orders are carried out with split-second precision. Warning is given to all commercial aircraft to stay out of the test area.
Detonation minus 70 seconds.
Planes take to the air, carrying sensitive instruments and nuclear scientists, ready to record the radioactivity from the closest possible vantage point.
Detonation minus 40 seconds.
The bomb-carrying plane nears the target. Tension mounts as all members of the flight crew anticipate the task to pinpoint the bomb on a tiny circle of Earth below. Now the plane wings its way toward ground zero. Warning signal is sounded. All observers prepare for the blinding flash of the bomb.
Detonation minus 20 seconds.
Command of the plane is given to the bombardier. Ground zero dead ahead. The key man now goes into action. Bomb bay doors open.
Detonation minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And this is the beginning.
Baby 2. We're circling ground zero at radius of 7.5 miles. Altitude 15,000 feet. Airspeed 450. Stand by. Roger and over. She's all yours.
This is Dr. Martin. Here are the readings. 0.378 negative. Second indicator. 1.08 negative. Radiation 0.4. Over.
Roger, proceed according to plan. Wilco and out.
Take her in closer.
Okay, Dr. Martin.
Have to keep at least 2 miles from the center of the column. Radiation was too strong.
What's that thing shining below?
Looks like a fireball. Better check.
Dr. Martin. Dr. Martin, we're in trouble.
Pull out.
What out? I can't. The controls are frozen. from base. Come in, Tar Baby 2. Come in, Tar Baby 2. We've lost contact, sir. Baker 2, sir. Yes, sir. All patrol craft in test area. This is a Mayday. Repeat, this is a Mayday. Proceed to segment Baker 17. Search for Tar Baby 2. Control from Tar Baby 7. Wreckage sighted southwest corner, Soledad Flats. Ship appears completely demolished. No sign of survivors. Over. Roger, Tar Baby 7. Circle wreckage at 1000 feet until arrival of helicopter rescue unit.
Dr. Kruger, Colonel Banks speaking. Would you mind coming into my office right away, please? Thank you. As I was saying, our search planes found the wreckage of your husband's plane, Mrs. Martin. A rescue crew was sent out, but...
But they must have reached the wreckage hours ago. Why can't they find him?
I honestly don't know, Mrs. Martin. Yes, come in. Ellen.
Kurt. Colonel Banks. Isn't there any hope?
I'm afraid not, Mrs. Martin. They found the pilot dead in the wreckage. And according to all reports, no one could have bailed out. I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Martin.
Dr. Martin! Dr. Martin, are you all right?
I am, yes.
It's Dr. Martin! Call the base hospital! Come on, Doctor. Come on.
All right, look up to your right. And now look over to your left. All right, you get up now. Well, everything seems all right. Except, can't you recall anything that happened from the time your plane crashed until...
I remember the controls froze. The next thing I saw was the main gate of the base.
Your plane was completely demolished, the pilot burned to death, and you show off the picture of health. Are you sure you weren't driven here?
Positive.
You don't remember where you got this? Mm-mm. You know, your medical chart shows no indication of any scars on your body.
I must have got it in a crash.
Now, this was surgery. A very skillful incision.
I've never had an operation.
Now, that's what I don't understand.
All right, Bubbles, get ready to hit the dirt.
I should have become an accountant.
Oh, stop worrying, kid. We're going to give this bathroom the shine of its life. Show those germs no mercy. Dig in, kid, dig in. Clean and shine. Disinfect, deodorize. We'll never scratch or leave any grit. Oh, we never do, we never do. You did good, kid. Now let's go down a drain together. We work hard, so you don't have to.
Dow Bathroom Cleaner with scrubbing bubbles.
Hi, you take the high road and I'll take the flat, and I'll be saving with Safeway Scotch Brite. Tain't fancy, but it sure is good.
How can I feed my family good food on a budget?
It's easy with Safeway Scotch Buy. A whole new brand of thrifty products. And their good quality is backed by Safeway, like it says on the label.
Safeway puts its name on them.
Proudly. Hi, Scotch Buy is thrifty, and Safeway makes it good. Scotch Buy. It ain't fancy, but it sure is good.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, haderd is the Egyptian word meaning to eat fat.
Hey! I'm here!
Dom DeLuise as the king of all the blackmailers.
Free to count it.
Don't touch the money!
You got a lovely face.
And you got a lovely face.
So we can shoot this now. Did you want that on camera?
I'm going to show it, but then I'll edit to it close up.
Oh, but we can just do that, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, okay.
This is yours. You're in charge.
Okay, good.
Absolutely in charge.
Okay.
Yes.
You've come a long way since the old Gary Moore show. I remember you.
Yes. I've had a lot of fun since my career started because every year it gets a little better. And, you know, you tend to... My goal was to get an acting job. And then it changed to a television job, and then it changed to a play, and I accomplished all of those. And now, then I changed it to movies. I wanted to be in movies, and now I'm in the movies. So it's really been very gratifying.
Your regular stints on the Dean Martin show, that got you an awful lot of exposure. Was that the big break where people said, "Hey, this guy's funny"? Or
yeah, you see, you don't know when you're living inside your own body. You don't know exactly what people are. How you're becoming popular or famous or funny. You just are doing it, you know? So at the moment, when I was doing the Dean Martin show, I was so busy working on it and enjoying myself, and it's possible that at that time I was becoming well-known as a comedian. But you don't know. I know that if I go to Europe, people recognize me, so it's, you know, I know I'm well-known, but it's okay.
But then Brooks, you work with Mel in 12 Chairs,
right.
Blazing Saddles. Is that how you got into what they call a repertory group here now?
I don't know how the repertory theater started. I mean, our group. Yeah. Because you see, Gene worked with Mel in The Producers and Blazing Saddles and Frankenstein. Sure. And Marty is going to be working with Mel in Frankenstein and this new movie that we're going to do called The Silent Movie. And
you're going to be in that one too, right?
I'm going to be in that one also. Now, what happens is, you, like I'm saying, you're in the middle of it and you don't feel like a repertory company, although I know that Mel considers me one of his actors, and he likes
you
me.
all work so well together. You bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have to,
There's
with
a lot
comedy,
of
that's
there.
important, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of trusting. There's a lot, you feel very safe when you're with somebody that loves you and you love back. Yeah. And you can, I think, be funnier. You know?
I want to show the fans how you look in the
Here we go.
The new film, Sherlock Holmes. With your
Smart.
beautiful,
Let me
you look
that so
gorgeous there.
I look gorgeous because they gave a little detail to a pudding face, which is me.
Tell us about your part.
Yeah, my part is an opera singer who is also a blackmailer, who is also Italian. So I get a chance to blackmail and speak Italian and sing opera all at the same time. And when you're on a screen with Madeline Kahn, it really is a treat because I really have such respect for her and she's such a joy for me. So it's like a party, you know, the whole picture was a party. And then they paid you besides, it was just wonderful.
As a comic, is it difficult to work
as an actor?
As a comic and an actor, okay. Is it difficult to work in a studio with no audience? And you don't
No, it's wonderful. Anybody who tells you that making movies is difficult is telling the truth. It is difficult, but it's a great deal of fun. It's not easy, but it's wonderful fun. And it's not, oh my goodness, I have to do a comedy and there's no people here. You have a great sense of the joy of what you're doing. Usually, if you laugh at it when you read it, and this script I did laugh at when I read, written by Gene Wilder. And then when you rehearse it, you're having, oh, what do we do? Why don't we do that? And that's fun. And then when you do it, they laugh for the first time. And then you really are not under a great deal of stress. Are you saying goodbye to me?
Yes,
I have more to say.
I'm double parked.
But wait a minute, this is important. I have more to say. Wait, but just a moment. I insist, Bob. Just a moment.
I'm kidding. Thank you.
No. I think don't you want to?
They wind me.
I know it's over.
Rick speaking. Oh,
called. It did come through, huh? They do check. That's what I've been waiting for. Thanks. Get me Colonel Banks at the base, please. No, I'll wait.
Oh, yes, Mr. Briggs. Any news on the line you were getting on Dr. Martin?
Just heard from Washington. Well, I was wrong. This is our man, all right. His prints and description check right down the line. Now, here's what I suggest you do.
But you say he's in excellent physical condition, yet you're keeping him in the base hospital. Why?
Mrs. Martin, you must realize that your husband is engaged in a highly secret work. If this experience had, well, affected his mind...
Are you trying to tell me that Doug is...
No. It's nothing serious, Mrs. Martin. His reflexes are excellent. Except for that one lapse of memory, his mind is perfectly clear.
Isn't that natural under the circumstances?
Yes. Except for the question of the scar on his chest.
I know he didn't have it before the crash.
Well, I'm sure he didn't, Mrs. Martin. But you see, it would be impossible for a wound of this size to have healed so quickly and without medical attention.
Well, you can't keep him here indefinitely.
Well, we don't intend to. We've asked you to come down here because we've decided to let you take him home, provided you can keep him quiet and he gets enough rest.
I understand. Now we'll just have to take that vacation he's been wanting for so long.
Vacation? To watch him, you'd think you never heard of one.
Yes, he must have asked me 100 times when the next test was scheduled. He's anxious to take his own readings again.
Well, he did have a key part in the planning of these projects.
Well, is there anything he should or shouldn't be allowed to do?
No. Except he does need diversion. Anything that won't upset or excite him.
I see. Movies, bridge, drives, things like that.
Well, you're the doctor now. Just see that he gets plenty of rest.
Thank you. Goodbye, Colonel.
Goodbye. See you later, Major.
I don't care what you say. You had no right to go ahead without me. And you, Kurt, you didn't tell me either. Why? Orders, Doug. Orders? Nonsense. The least that could have been done would have been to let me know. I'm fine. I could have done my work.
I hate to say this, Dr. Martin, but in your present state, you're not considered a very good security risk.
Me, a security risk? My present state? What's the matter with me? How long am I to be considered?
Only temporarily. The results of the test will be available for your study when you return to work.
I am ready, Colonel.
To us, you're still a very sick man. My advice to you is to go home and relax, as you were ordered.
Relax. And if I don't?
Then you'll be confined to the base hospital till you change your mind. Now, what's it going to be? Well, Doctor?
Oh, Dr. Martin. I didn't expect you back so soon.
Haven't you heard? I'm a mental case. Can't even be trusted with my own work. Liable to go berserk at any minute. Colonel Banks will fill you in on the details. Don't tell me. Let me see. You're, I know. You're Miss Vincent, the secretary I share with,
Oh, Doctor, you can't be serious. There was no one in your office, so I thought you wouldn't mind.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right. As far as I'm concerned, you can take the rest of the day off.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't really belong here. I just came in to pick up a few personal things from my desk.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm a fashion photographer, and I've got enough confidence in my work to compare it to anyone. I'd also compare my antiperspirant, Ultraban Roll-On Lotion. You see, I switched from my aerosol because compared to Right Guard, to Arid Extra Dry, to Sure, Ultraban Roll-On Lotion helps stop wetness better, and none have Ultraban Smooth Lotion formula. For me, there's just no comparison.
Wendy's presents hot and juicy hamburgers. If you've ever had a dry, chewy hamburger, you're gonna love Wendy's hot and juicy hamburgers. Wendy's hot and juicy hamburgers. Juicy meat, juicy toppings, and lots of napkins.
Somewhere in space, this may all be happening right now. 20th Century Fox and George Lucas, the man who brought you American Graffiti, now bring you an adventure unlike anything on your planet. Star Wars.
Here they come. Coming in too fast!
The story of a boy, a girl, and a universe. It's a big, sprawling space saga of rebellion and romance. It's a spectacle, light years ahead of its time.
I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations, and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
Hello.
It's an epic of heroes.
Good luck.
And villains. And aliens from 1,000 worlds. Star Wars, 1 billion years in the making, and it's coming to your galaxy this summer.
I first heard about you and Star Wars from a guy named Alan Dean Foster. Does that ring a bell?
Sure does. I met him at the Kansas City Science Fiction Convention. And I think it's a surprise sometimes for people who've seen Star Wars and that are great fans of this particular genre to find out that I am a fan too. It's like, well, gee, one of us. Because a lot of times, like Harrison is really not that into...
He could care less, yeah. It's just a job.
He doesn't even really go to the movies that much, which is fine. It's there's no law that says actors
but
have to be...
what a break for you, a science fiction fan, and being in this thing.
I didn't think my heart could stand the strain of reading it page by page, because I said, I can't believe I'm going to do this film, because I didn't get the script until after I tested for it. I tested on a 5-page scene.
Now, you tested for another movie that was did pretty well, Carrie. You didn't make that one, did you?
No.
Yeah.
In fact...
were you going to have the William Cott part?
Yes, and he was wonderful.
Yeah, he was great.
A lot of times you go and you see a movie where you know you were up for a part and the other guy gets it, and you sit there and you say, oh, gee, what a mistake they made. It was nice to see Carrie, because I think William Cott was perfect. There's no way I ever dreamt of doing it the way he did it, and that's superb. George, as a matter of fact, had joint interviews with Brian De Palma, cattle calls for kids from 15 to 35 for both films.
I see.
So Billy Cat probably was in on that too.
So that's how you got called over for Star Wars then?
Yeah.
There was somewhere I read where you were talking about Lucas's personality, and you said that he is the character that you play in the movie.
I think so. He might disagree with me, but it's the kind of thing where George probably wrote this adventure, and the best way to do it is to say to yourself, well, what would I like to do?
Well, he did it with American Graffiti, didn't he? Some people think that he was one of the characters.
I know he was one of the characters.
Okay.
But that's it. He draws upon, things from his own life. This is such a complete fantasy. He probably just took elements from Ivanhoe and everything. I mean, there's Dune in here, there's Treasure Island, there's so many references, you can't count them all. But I think George is Luke. He's the little boy that wants to journey out over the horizon and see what mysteries are on just the other side of the mountain.
To prove that you're a science fiction fan, a fantasy fan, we were chatting before the interview started that you'd love to meet Harryhausen, right?
Oh, well, I mean, when I was about, I guess, 5 years old, I saw Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. It changed my life. I mean, the original King Kong, which he didn't work on, but that stop frame kind of fantasy. Jason and the Argonauts, Earth versus the Flying Saucers, the Mysterious Island.
He knows them all.
Oh, I know every single one. I wrote an article. I interviewed Kerwin Matthews because he did a soap that I was on. I said, Sinbad, and let me talk to you. And he couldn't believe I was so interested.
What magazine that was in?
FXRH, Film Effects by Ray Harryhausen.
A lot of my fans read that.
Yeah, well, it was I think issue number 5 with the red cover. And I went up to San Francisco, went to a convention there, and taped his talk. Kerwin talked.
Kerwin works
after 3 Worlds of Gulliver. They showed, and great Bernard Herrmann scores.
Yeah,
that's what really got me into film music.
Real quickly now, have you seen Star Wars in the theater with an audience?
Saturday at Grauman's Chinese, I waited in line, paid my $4, and mind you, no, I was not. I mean, a few people recognized me, but I was pretty low key. And that was the thrill of the lifetime.
You didn't have the uniform on.
No, I left my lightsaber at home. But
how did you feel?
Hey, listen, you're sitting in the back of the theater and kids are jumping out of their seats and booing Darth Vader. I nearly burst into tears. I was so thrilled.
Yeah. Great. You did a great job.
Bob, thank you very much.
We look forward to seeing you in Star Wars #2 or whatever they call it.
Beneath the Planet of Star Wars.
How did you bump into George Lucas? How did he pick you for this particular?
Well, I'd worked with Lucas before in American Graffiti.
That's right.
And
he remembered you.
And he remembered me.
But
he remembered a lot of other people too. I tested for the part.
In American Graffiti, I read somewhere where while they were making the film, somebody thought it was a documentary or something. They were a little confused about it. Did you ever have that feeling? I think, who was that? The fellow that was in Jaws, Dreyfuss, made that.
Dreyfuss
yeah,
said they thought it was a documentary?
Yeah, he didn't know what it was. And,
well, Richard should start paying attention
maybe
to what's going on around
maybe
him.
this is just gossip in the trade.
I'm sure not.
This Lucas has a magic touch, doesn't he?
Lucas is a very bright man and a very skillful filmmaker.
As an actor, when you read a script like Star Wars or American Graffiti,
well, I've never read a script like Star Wars.
I was going to say that would be difficult for you to envision.
Very difficult to imagine them fulfilling the potential of something that's just typed out on paper that way. And I'm very gratified to see the way it turned out.
Did you ever get a feeling along the way that this was going to be what it is today, or?
No, I mean, how could you
visually,
anticipate
I mean, yeah.
how successful? Well, no, I mean, I did not anticipate the success of it, and I really didn't have an idea of what it was going to look like. I mean, I confined myself to what I was doing in a very small.
Have you seen this film with a live audience?
Yeah, I did just a couple of days ago.
What kind of reaction did you get after? I mean, the reaction fans get, the people in the audience, is just unbelievable. But for someone who worked in it as a
well, I had seen it before, twice before, and I'm just delighted. You know, and being a part of an audience allowed me to see it in a different way than I had before. And I enjoyed it the way the rest of them did.
Have things changed for you even since the short opening?
Got a new jacket.
Very nice.
Destroy us. He's coming out of it.
It's all right, Dr. Martin. You're with friends. You'll be all right.
Now let me go. Let me go.
Steady now, steady, Doc.
He'll kill everyone. We've got to stop now.
Easy, Doug, easy.
What did you give him? Sodium amytal. Truth serum. To deprive his minds of any imagination.
I guess you'll make sense now. I'll get the recorder ready.
Can you hear me, Dr. Martin?
Yes.
Now listen to me. I want you to count backwards from 100. Do you understand? Backwards from 100.
100. 99. 98. 97. 96. 95. 94.
Well, you can ask him questions now.
Dr. Martin, what were you doing with the information you took from Dr. Kruger's vault?
I was delivering it.
Delivering it? But where? To the rocks in Soledad Flats?
Yes. To Soledad Flats, and where we crashed. I was delivering it, just as I was ordered.
Who ordered you to do this, Dr. Martin?
I'll tell you the whole story. I remember we were circling the atomic cloud. 'There was an object
glowing beneath us at Soledad Flats. We were going down to investigate. Controls jammed. Couldn't pull out.
When I regained consciousness, I was on a table.
Next thing I knew, they were coming at me. Strange people. Their eyes, those horrible eyes.
They didn't speak. I could see something strange and eerie pulsating in front of me. Then one of them lowered it toward my chest. It was my own heart.
What happened? What is this place?
Who are you? What are you doing to me?
Can't you speak? Who are you?
Step forward. Dr. Martin, I see you are quite well. You have recovered from your unfortunate accident.
Who are you?
A scientist, like yourself.
Where do you come from?
From a planet, yet unknown to you.
You know my name. You speak English.
We speak every language.
Can't expect me to believe that. I'm getting out of here.
Stay where you are.
Who are you?
I have already told you that.
How did you get here?
Here. In our machines magnetically propelled across the electron bridge we have created.
Electron bridge? You mean you come and go just like that? Without anyone ever seeing you?
Our ships have been sighted on numerous occasions by your people.
Then why haven't we been able to track one down?
We have a warning system similar to your primitive radar. Our machines are set to change course at the mere approach of a pursuing object.
Let's say I do believe you. Where are we right now?
In a cavern within the upper crust of the Earth.
How long have you been here?
Since the beginning of your experiments in nuclear fission.
What have you got to do with that?
We are accumulating the energy released with each of your atomic explosions. One moment.
No, I here it. No, it. Here. I let it. Now, Nino. Yeah, never seen no. Yeah, I read it. Yes, Yeah, How needed it.
What was that?
A report from the monitor we sent to the surface to obtain the results of your last nuclear test.
Results? They'll take days to analyze and compute.
I think you will find these figures are correct.
can't believe it. Where is that man?
You don't recognize the area?
No.
He is in the vicinity where you crashed.
That rock was glowing.
A normal reaction in view of the amount of radiation absorbed. You have a remarkable memory, Doctor, considering the fact that you did not survive the crash.
What do you mean?
The mechanism of your heart had ceased to function. It was necessary for us to revive it. You were dead.
I was dead. So that's what they were doing. You didn't even try to help the pilot. Why did you save me?
Because we had an important need of your services.
Such as?
Look this way, Doctor. You will understand.
Ben Franklin, you discovered electricity.
No, something really shocking. Look, Carefree sugarless gum here, Trident here. Both cost the same, yet Carefree gives you 32% more gum by weight than Trident. And Carefree's taste, electrifying.
Ben, the electricity.
I'll think about it in Washington, A.C.
That's Washington, D.C.
Get more gum with Carefree.
Now in bubble gum, too. More gum.
Carefree sugarless gum.
You make this shot, you can have anything you want for dinner.
I'll have Kentucky Fried Chicken, Mom.
You got it, superstar.
Kids love Kentucky Fried Chicken, just like other folks. And with all those delicious fixins, what a meal.
It's finger-licking good! Real goodness from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Darren and my fans are really into this Night Stalker business.
That's good.
Not so much the TV series, but that fantastic movie that you made for television.
Oh, the original Night
Yeah.
Stalker. Yeah, yeah.
That was beautiful. You know, when I heard it was going to be about a vampire in Las Vegas, I said, I've got to see this. But that had the highest ratings of any movie ever made for television.
Yeah, it's true. It was a most interesting film. I think people were caught up by the fact that there was today in this life that we're living in common, ordinary circumstances, a vampire.
That's right. And that he could find a room in Vegas.
Yeah.
Now, what do we have here? Airport 77, of course.
Yeah,
You've been in the
that's
water
part
most of the morning here.
Most of the morning and most of yesterday and all of, well, except for last week when we were at the airport. We're about 3 weeks inside of that, down at the tank in 22nd.
You play the part of the designer of this?
The designer, yeah, the engineer, the guy who puts the thing together.
What went wrong?
Oh, somebody skyjacked it, you know. They put us all to sleep and then took the thing and skyjacked the plane and hit an oil tower, and that's why we're in the water.
I see.
This is, we're coming out of the water in this sequence.
All-star cast, Jimmy Stewart,
Yeah.
Joseph Cotton.
Jimmy Stewart, Joseph Cotton, Olivia de Havilland, and Jack Lemmon, of course, and Lee Grant.
Now, Cotton, who's 71, told me off in the corner here that it's one of the toughest films he's ever worked on.
Yes, me too. It's
Very
really
demanding.
very difficult film tonight. Difficult technically and kind of ungratifying artistically, because you don't really have any scenes to play. It's the story and the star of the picture is really the airplane and the circumstances surrounding it.
Making movies much more demanding than a television thing, or is it
Not
all
a
the
lot.
same? It's all hard work.
It's all hard work. You know. I think most of the studios today are turning out motion pictures on a television level anyway, and both on production and on content. So there's not a lot of difference in it.
When are you going to visit Northern California again? I know.
Gee, I wish we could get up there. I really do. We're going to try to make it up as soon as this picture ends.
As soon as they get you out of the water.
Yeah, as soon as they get me out of the water.
Thank you, Darren.
Pleasure, Bob. Okay.
many of you?
All of us, well over 1 billion. There were feeble attempts to stop us, but we were prepared for such contingencies. And now that our sun is about to completely expire, we must move again in order to survive. Yours is the only planet in this solar system capable of supporting our civilization.
This is fantastic. Over 1 billion of you trying to come here to Earth.
We have no alternative. We have been putting our plan to work for some time. At the proper moment, the invasion will be launched from our platforms, which are being readied in space. Nothing can stop us.
Insane. This is ridiculous.
You cannot find your way in or out of this cavern. Do not try to leave. So, you have discovered our menagerie. Don't you think you will be more at ease on this side of the cage?
It's horrible. What are you doing here?
We are breeding our, shall I say, armies.
Those carnivorous insects and animals? What have you done to them?
Their growth is due to a change in their genes. With your next nuclear test, these animals will multiply at a rate beyond imagination. When the time comes, we will unleash them. They will spread to every continent and devour every living thing on the surface of the earth.
What good will that do you? How could you expect to survive better than we?
We have provided for that. No, Doctor. Look over there. We will use their bodies to fertilize the soil. Vegetation will rise up in abundance. A new era of civilization will begin.
Gamma rays?
You see, Doctor, we have arranged for everything.
Wait a minute. All this equipment?
Our nuclear storage units. To date, we have accumulated several billion electron volts as a result of your atomic explosions.
Several billion? A chain reaction at this point could release enough unstable isotopes to create a new and powerful element. Might be impossible to control.
True. An element that will never be known by your scientists. I can assure you the strength of this new element will be...
This is a powder keg. Could go up at any minute.
I assure you, Doctor, we have everything under our complete control.
What force could possibly be strong enough to harness the... You control your whole operation by electricity. Of course, no generators. That means you're getting your power from somewhere on the surface. It must be passing through here.
You have heard enough, Dr. Martin. Step inside.
All right. What do you want from me?
You will have access to advanced information relative to the time and strength of the forthcoming atomic tests.
What about it?
You will provide us with that information as soon as it is available.
I see. You're afraid of an overload. You can't tap enough electricity wherever you get it from to control a strong enough charge.
You are a clever man, Doctor. Perhaps too clever.
And what makes you think I'll give you any information?
It is the only way you can save your own life when the time comes. You will be transported to one of our platforms in space and resettled here when our operation is completed.
You're asking me to sabotage the entire world, 3 billion people.
They are doomed in any case.
Yeah? I guess there's no alternative. I'll have to do as you say.
You are lying, Doctor. Your only wish is to betray us.
No.
I know. Your thoughts have been recorded.
Lie detector?
Call it what you like. You force me to resort to other methods. I will contact our space station. You are an unwilling subject, Dr. Martin.
What? Who are you?
I am Vitala. You will listen and obey.
No,
You will listen to my orders and obey me. You will listen and obey. Listen
and obey.
You will remember nothing you have seen or heard here. Nothing nothing but my orders which you will obey.
Yes.
You will obtain the data and bring it to the stone near the place where your plane was wrecked.
To the stone.
What have you seen or heard here? What have you seen or heard here?
Nothing.
Repeat my orders.
I will obtain the data and bring it to the stone.
It's got 4 wheels and reflexes so quick, it almost seems alive. It's perfectly balanced to perform and perform and perform. It's the wide-open sports car, MG Midget. A moving experience. The lowest priced authentic sports car on the market. MG Midget. Strong, honest, fun, young. MG Midget. From British Leyland.
I dare you to knock this off. I dare you to compare anybody's batteries, anybody's, with alkaline power cells. Trying to beat them for long life. You know what? You can't. When you want long-lasting energy, you can't buy a longer-lasting, all-purpose power system than gold, red, and black alkaline power cells from Everready. Come on. I dare you.
20th Century Fox wants you to go ape. Now, the triumphant return of a revolution in the art of science fiction filmmaking. The classic Saga of the Apes. Two great civilizations in epic confrontation. The prize, possession of a universe gone wild.
This will be the end of human civilization, and the world will belong to a planet of apes. And that day is upon you now!
These are the most popular and successful films of their kind ever conceived. The classic Saga of the Apes, rated PG. 20th Century Fox wants you to go ape.
Now, are you guys going to watch all 5 movies today?
Yeah.
How are you going to keep awake?
Coffee.
Coffee? No, did your mom give you a lot of money for the snack bar?
Yeah.
How much?
About $3.
$3?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Stay awake.
Have you seen, is this your first ape movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
That's great. Hope you stay awake.
Yeah, we will.
Are you an ape fan?
No, but I want to go see it, you know, because I had heard so much talk about it on TV.
Roll. I hope you make it.
I sure hope so, too. Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Headline, Planet for the Battle of the Apes, action hot in latest outbreak. It's the latest ape news here. Okay, thank you.
Chocolate.
Okay. How early did you get here?
Oh, gee, about 6, 5, 6, something like that. We woke up at about 4 a.m.
morning.
this
You got
morning.
and you were in line at 6 o'clock?
Oh, no. 10 o'clock.
How many people were here when you got here?
About 4, something like that.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Great. Okay. What is it that you like about the ape film so much?
The apes. The apes. The troglodytes. Yeah.
Which one was your favorite one?
Oh, gee, I like the first one, Planet of the Apes.
This one was good too.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, but too bad Cornelius died, his son.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Well, that's what I did. I took the information to where they told me. I didn't realize I was being mesmerized. Why doesn't somebody say something? Don't you believe me? Kurt, you understand. These giant animals breeding by the millions, they'll devour everything unless we stop them.
Of course, Doug, we will.
Colonel, you've got to arrange to set off another bomb tonight. The strongest charge we have. They're beneath the ground with all their equipment. We can blow them to pieces.
Now, wait a minute.
A strong charge will overload their units. You don't believe me, Colonel? Major? Kurt?
Of course we do. Easy, Doug, easy.
You think I'm crazy, all of you. Well, I'm not, do you understand? Everything I said is true. I saw it with my own eyes.
Give me a hand, Doug.
Now, let me go. Let me go. Steady, steady, steady. Take it easy now. Take it easy. We'll talk this whole thing over. What are you doing to me now? Just rest quietly. That's it.
Mrs. Martin should be along any minute now. She went for their car. What'll I tell her?
Well, he's in a state of shock. Tell her he's resting quietly.
If you'll excuse me, I think I'd better wait for her at the information desk.
Well, Dr. Martin seems to be indestructible, except for those hallucinations.
Those weren't hallucinations, Colonel. Under the influence of sodium amytal, a patient loses all control of his imagination.
Well, then he shouldn't be able to fabricate those stories.
That's right.
Major, you're not trying to tell us that everything he said was true.
Look, gentlemen, I can only give you the medical facts. As for the rest, you'll have to decide for yourself. Excuse me, please.
Good evening, Dr. Kruger. Chilly, isn't it?
Oh, Mr. Briggs, you startled me. I didn't expect to see anyone here.
Well, neither did I, Doctor.
Well, I suppose you want me to explain why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to believe Doug. We've worked together a long time. Anyway, I just had to come out here and check for myself.
Check what, Doctor?
For an entrance or an exit to the caverns he described.
I'm afraid you're wasting your time. Have a cigarette, Doctor?
No, thank you.
See, we've already covered the entire area. We couldn't find a thing.
Then, what about that scar? I'd like to see you disprove that.
Oh, Mrs. Martin.
Oh. How is he, Doctor?
Oh, he's resting fine. I think he'll be all right. How's the car?
Keep away from me. Keep away, I say.
Doc!
Let me go. They're after me. Nobody's after you, Dr. Martin. Keep away.
Doc, he's trying to help you.
I don't need the help. I want to see Kurt right away. Now, you control yourself. And I'll call him just as soon as you get back to your room.
You get back into bed and I'll call Dr. Kruger.
I've got to figure something out before he gets here. Need a pencil, some paper, and a slide rule.
I'll see that you get it. Oh, can I have Dr. Kruger, please?
Dr. Kruger speaking. Oh, yes, Major. How is he? All right, I'll be over in a few minutes.
Doug. Doug. Doug.
Kurt! Ellen, I got here as soon as I could. Is there anything wrong?
He's much better. Imagine he's even started working. He asked for paper and a slide rule.
That's interesting. Wonder what he's up to.
Formulas, equations. Anyway, whatever he says, pretend to agree with him. Major Cliff's orders.
Of course.
Doug. Doug, Kurt's here.
Hello, Doug. Just a second, I'm almost finished.
I'll take your hat.
Thank you. Kurt, let's face it. I know that you all think there's something wrong with me.
No, of course not.
No, I wouldn't blame you after the story I told last night.
Well, frankly, you did have us a little worried, asking that a bomb be dropped because of what you said.
You don't believe me either. Kurt, I tell you, I've been there. I've seen what they're doing, breeding animals into carnivorous monsters. But I don't need a bomb to stop them. I've figured it out. It's all here. Now, look. Here's the nuclear strength of our last test. And this is the amount of electricity needed to control it.
Let me see that.
I had to estimate the conversion rates of their transformers.
These figures are correct. Such transformers must operate on a constant supply of electricity. Where could they get that much electric power?
Only one way. They must tap it from the main lines at the powerhouse. Could do it by parallel induction. Nobody'd ever know the difference. All we have to do is to cut it off.
Cut off the power? We can't do that. It would cause untold damage for miles around. Such a power stoppage must be planned in advance.
8 to 10 seconds, that's all I need. That gap in supply will short out their resistors and the whole thing will go up. But you won't go along with that. No, not you.
Doug, get back in bed.
Car keys, there's
now, look, you're carrying this
out of my way.
Doug!
Please call the main gate and try to stop Dr. Martin.
Doug took the car. Hurry.
Dr. Martin! Stop! Stop! He did what? How long ago? Right, we'll leave immediately.
What's wrong, Colonel?
Dr. Martin, he's on his way to the powerhouse, wants to cut off the power supply.
Let's go.
I couldn't stop him, Doctor. He went that way.
Butter.
Parquet margarine.
Butter.
No, parquet. It says right on your lid, parquet margarine.
Butter.
Parquet. Smooth, delicious. Butter.
Parquet.
Oh, yeah.
Parquet margarine from Kraft. The flavor says butter.
Cholesterol levels of many Americans are too high, but for a group of people in New Jersey, cholesterol went down. They joined in a total dietary program to reduce cholesterol. Less fats, lean meats, egg and cheese substitutes, and highly polyunsaturated foods, including Promise margarine. Promise is highly polyunsaturated. The results?
Their average cholesterol level went down. Down significantly.
And Promise tastes like butter. Promise.
The Intrepid. It just died. And the 400 Vulcans aboard.
I cannot say what it is, Captain, but I would say it has found us.
Let's go back to the Spock character again. You have some humorous stories in the book, I Am Not Spock, about the ears. They really had problems getting those ears.
Yeah, the problem was that we were dealing with the wrong people who, in getting them made. It was a very simple problem, could be quickly and simply resolved. But the studio had contracted with a company to do special effects for the show, not film special effects, but items like suits for creatures, creature outfits, and that kind of thing. And included in the contract was the ears. They were supposed to do the ears. Now, they were very good at creating creatures, and we used them throughout the series, this particular company, for whatever creatures we needed. But they were not really specialists in the very fine, delicate kind of appliance work that's necessary to add something to a person's features and make it really look like it's part of that person. So they made some ears for us which looked very crude. And they just did not look right. They looked like what they were. They were very crude foam rubber things that stuck on my own ears, and just they really looked awful. And I was very much afraid that the studio was going to insist that we go ahead with these people, and it was really going to look bad. And my fears that we talked about earlier about looking like a Mickey Mouse kind of thing might have come true. Well, we came right down within about 3 or 4 days of shooting the series. And I said to Gene Roddenberry, this is not going to work, and maybe we just better forget about the ears. Well, he insisted he wanted the ears to be part of the character. And he said, you try it, and let's work it out. Let's solve the problem. And at the end of 13 shows, if you're not satisfied with the ears, I'll write a script where Spock gets an ear job. So we went ahead and worked on the problem. And Fred Phillips, who was the actual makeup man who was going to do my makeup each day on the series, knew what the problem was. And a couple days before we started shooting, he called an appliance specialist. And we very quickly went to him, got the ears done in about 24 hours, and they were ready and they were perfect, and that solved the problem.
Now, it was September 1966, the series started, and I think about a week later, Leonard Nimoy was, that was it. That was, your personal life was gone.
Yeah, it started happening very fast, and to show you how naive I was, at that time I still had my phone listed in the phone book and my address, and it was all, you know, I'd never dreamed that there was going to be any, that kind of impact, because I'd been on television before and been in movies before, and I was listed in the phone book. It didn't matter to me. But suddenly we started getting calls at all hours of the day and night. We started getting people driving by the house and parking and ripping at the shrubbery to have a souvenir, you know, and taking my grass and my leaves and whatever. Some of them would knock on the door and ask to be invited in to visit.
They tell me that 10,000 pieces of mail were coming in every month for you, just for you on the series.
Yes, after about 3 or 4 or 5 months of the show, that's the level we hit. It built very rapidly. It started with a few pieces of mail the first week or so, and then it started multiplying. And at first I was doing it myself, I thought, well, this is lovely. People are writing me these letters. I'll send them an answer and send them pictures.
Yeah, your book has some interesting inter-office memos about the fan mail and how the
cost
stealing of pencils.
Nobody anticipated the cost that would be involved in handling all that mail. We never figured there would be.
What did most of the people want to know?
They wanted pictures. They wanted, they'd send all kinds of questions. You know, who are you? Where were you born? What have you done before? They wanted, you know, suddenly a person is exposed in a way that the public is interested in. They want to know things about you. They want to know, are you married? How old are you? How many kids do you have? Where do you live? What have you done before that we can look for? What will you know, where else can we see you? You're going to be doing any personal appearances? All kinds of things. They're suddenly actively interested. And the press, too, the same thing. Suddenly, the phone calls start coming in. We'd like to do an interview for this or that. We want to get some pictures. We have nothing on you. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Literally, you know. I remember 16 Magazine called me from New York, and the editor said to me, "Who are you? We've got to know something about. We have nothing on you, and we're getting all these letters, you know."
Now, in spite of this response, Roddenberry told me that the network wanted to take you off after.
Well, that was before. That was earlier.
That was earlier?
Yeah, not in spite of the response, before the response.
Yeah, before the response.
The network didn't believe that a character with pointed ears should be a leading or central running character in a television series. They just couldn't see it. There was no precedent for it, you see. Their thinking is in terms of what has worked before.
Yeah.
And this has never happened before, that a character comes on the air with pointed ears and comes from another planet and people love him, you know. So they really felt that the character should be either a very minor character or eliminated. And they felt there should be some other kind of individual in that role, maybe some young kid that the young audience would relate to or something. You know, that's their thinking. Or some lady that the females in the audience could relate to. They think ladies relate only to a lady of their kind, teenagers relate only to a teenager that looks like them. That's their thinking. Well, when the character started working, and the character was really a secondary character at first, when the character started to work in terms of public acceptance, then they insisted quite the opposite. They wanted more of Spock in the scripts. So suddenly I was working harder, and which was fine with me. I mean, I was just being given more to do.
Was the Spock character, looking back now, was that Roddenberry's baby? And you developed it?
Well, we developed it together, but it was his baby, absolutely. He had the concept of this character that looked the way he did, or at least the ears, and so we knew he was an alien. That he was very cool, very pragmatic, very logical, came from a planet where emotion had been ruled out. And, very important, the character had a human mother, you see. This was a mating of a Vulcan with an Earth woman. So that there was a split, a personality split inside this character, a tension, an inner tension that helped a lot in developing the character. And then we developed things as we went along.
You developed the relationship with McCoy.
Yes.
Quite well.
Yes. Things like that, hopefully, if you're lucky, happen in the series as you go. You know, maybe a writer writes in some little bit and say, hey, maybe if I do it this way, it will be kind of funny or fun, and you do it. And then the producer sees it in the film the next day and says, I like that chemistry, let's do more of that, and you start building those things that way.
Grant me my own kind of dignity.
How can I grant you what I don't understand?
Okay, you run up the stairs. I'll look here.
There's his car. Come on, hurry.
He isn't back there. Let's go.
Where's the driver of this car? He went into the building.
want to take the stairs.
Where are the main switches?
Hey, what's the matter with you? You sleepwalking or something, mister?
Where are the switches that control the solar flaps area? I said, where are they?
This way. Whoa. Control room. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Come on, show me those switches. Come on.
All right.
Cut that power.
Now, look, mister, be reasonable.
I said cut it. Now the next one. Next. Go on.
That'll turn the power off for 100 miles.
Do as I say.
Here it is.
Stay where you are. Put down that gun, Dr. Mutt. I'm warning you, Colonel. How many closer and I'll kill him. Now the next one. What's this one?
That's the master switch.
Cut it.
Doug, please, don't.
I said cut it. Get back or I'll kill him. Go on, get back. Go on, get back. Do as he says. Give me 10 seconds after I cut the power. If I'm insane, nothing will happen and you can do what you want with me. But if I'm right... Now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over here. Soledad flats right in the button. Just as he said.
He blew them to pieces.
Hey, what you eating, man?
Chef Boyardee mini ravioli.
What's a mini ravioli?
It's like a little macaroni sandwich with lots of beef inside and lots of tomato sauce outside.
It's so little I can eat a whole one in one bite.
Like to join me for lunch?
Do you ever eat anything else?
Never.
Oh? Chef Boyardee mini ravioli.
Little Friskies, little Friskies, ain't we got fun? Ain't we got fun? Little Friskies, ain't we got fun? By the bag full, by the bowl full, ain't we got fun? Lots of flavor, very tasty, ain't we got fun? Little Friskies, little
of Little Friskies is in its flavor. That's why cats love it. Little Friskies!
We're nearing the end, Bob. It's time for the surprise.
The surprise? Okay. Well, I always bring a friend of mine with me to say goodbye, and it's in person.
Oh, that goes way back. Huh?
Way back. You know, Cecil is the only character that can look sad, look glad, and he loves to say goodbye with a slurp kiss. Is that right? Yes.
Bob, good luck with Bugs Bunny Superstar.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having us on.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now if you enjoyed today's film, or you got in a little late, we're going to be showing what we call Bob Wilkins Horror Films all week. Tomorrow we're going to have Terror in the Crypt with Christopher Lee, one of the greats of European horror filmdom. And the day after, Samson in the Wax Museum, Castle of the Living Dead. All these movies will start approximately at 5 o'clock here. And you're welcome to come to this big theater here. And it's going to be free. All you got to do is pay to get in that front gate. We hope that we see you tomorrow and the day after and then the following week. This is Bob Wilkins saying, if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you Saturday night on The Late Show, Channel 3.
YouTube friends, we are the Motley Crew from Creature Features, and we would like to welcome...
We are not that ghastly heavy metal band, sir.
No, not Motley Crewy, Motley Crew. It's a term that means... Oh, never mind. Hello, we're the crew of Creature Features, and we would like to welcome you to our channel. Welcome! I don't know what else to say, Livingston. What in God's name is there to do here?
They can watch previous episodes.
Ah, of course. You can watch previous episodes of Creature Features. So not only can you see us on new episodes on the weekends, you can enjoy previous episodes every day if you like.
Don't we make them suffer enough already?
Zip. So have a look around, enjoy some of our older shows, and if you would, please subscribe and tick the little bell to ensure you receive notifications on new items. Goodbye.
I need a vacation.